Nandito tayo ng smartphones under 5K!
No! Laptops! I'm calm. I promise I'm calm. What's up, guys? Joey here of Yugatech, and we've already taken a look at our recommendations for smartphones at certain price ranges, but now I want to change up the category a little bit. So today we're going to be checking out our recommendations for gaming laptops under 50,000 pesos. This is sort of considered the kind of sweet spot for getting your bang for your buck. This would be 4 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte 5400 RPM hard drive, and GTX 1050 territory. So without any further ado, let's start with our first choices. So for our first one, we actually have two. I know that's confusing, but it's 2 in 1 because we're talking about the Acer Nitro 5. There are two variants actually. Both Acer Nitro 5 variants have a 15.6-inch Full HD IPS display, but one of them has an Intel Core i5-8300H and a GTX 1050, while the other one has a Ryzen 7 2700U and an RX 560X. And yeah, for the rest of the specs, they both have 4 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, upgradable up to 32 gigs, so if you want to get more RAM for maybe video editing or productivity or gaming, but it doesn't help that much, you can upgrade up to 32 gigabytes. You also get a 5400 RPM 1 terabyte hard drive that you should replace with an SSD as soon as you can, 48 watt-hour battery, and for price, the AMD variant is priced at 46,999 pesos at Vilman, while the Intel NVIDIA variant is priced at 49,999 pesos, also in Vilman. So that's it for our picks from Acer. Now let's move on to ASUS, which actually we have 3 picks. For our first ASUS laptop that we're gonna mention in this list, we have the ASUS X570UD. We have an Intel Core i5-8250U processor, so it's not as powerful as the 8300H. The U series is more for ultrabooks and lighter gaming laptops. And as per usual, we have 4 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, 15.6-inch IPS display, 48 watt-hour battery, and for our GPU, we have a GTX 1050. Around 42,600 something pesos online. The store is Enigma Philippines, but SRP should be around 46,000 pesos if you can find it in the ASUS store. Next up, we have the ASUS TUF Gaming FX504. So for this one, for the processor, you get an Intel Core i5-8300HQ. So again, slightly better for gaming compared to the U series processors. But for the GPU, we do get a GTX 1050, but unfortunately, it's the one with 2 gigabytes of VRAM, so a little bit more underpowered than the usual 4 gigabyte VRAM 1050. But for this particular variant of the laptop, for the one we have priced here, we actually have 8 gigabytes of base RAM, upgradable to 32 gigabytes. So if you're looking to get a laptop under 50K with the most amount of RAM out of the store, then this could be the one you get. And for storage, it doesn't make that big of a difference, honestly, but for this one, instead of a 5400 RPM HDD, we get a 1 terabyte SSHD. This means that you have around 1 terabyte for mass storage, but your OS is installed on a separate 8 gigabyte partition that's actually an SSD. So general performance will be faster a little bit, but you know, 8 gigabytes of RAM out of the store, 1 terabyte SSHD, it's a pretty good deal despite the underpowered 2 gigabyte GTX 1050. We found this for 45,900 pesos over at Ben's store. Last up for our ASUS recommendations is the ASUS Gaming X570ZD. Not to be confused with the X570UD. This is actually the cheapest laptop on this list at 37,995 pesos. For processor, it's packing a Ryzen 5 2500U. So yeah, that's a quad-core chip. You get 4 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive, and surprisingly, you get a GTX 1050. You know, ASUS decided not to go for Ryzen and Vega for this one, so this is, you know, Ryzen and GeForce. So yeah, this is actually one of my top recommendations for this entire list. For only 37,995 pesos, you get a 15.6-inch display, You got a quad-core processor, you got a GTX 1050. It's good. It's pretty good. Sulit. It's so lit. Fam. So that's it for our choices from ASUS. Now let's move on to Dell. And from Dell, we have the Dell. I've said Dell too many times, but from those guys, we have the Dell G315 Gaming. It's similar to other items on this list. We get an Intel Core i5-8300H for our processor. We have 4GB of DDR4 RAM, a 5400 RPM, 1TB hard drive, but there is an included M.2 slot, so you can add an SSD if you want. And for our GPU, we have a GTX 1050. And for screen, 15.6 inch. I think all of these laptops on this list are 15.6 inches Full HD IPS displays, so yeah. And I think one of the most interesting parts about this thing is the 56 watt-hour battery, which is bigger than all the other laptops. I think they all have 48 watt-hour batteries, so aside from gaming, you can take this out of the house and work on the go in a coffee shop. If you work in a co-working space, you know, this thing can probably last you a little bit more than the others on this list. This one is priced at 49,990 pesos over at Dell. And the last one we're gonna mention on this list is from Lenovo. It's not really at the top of our recommendations. It's probably the lowest recommended one, but here it goes. This is the Lenovo Legion Y520. For processor, we have the Intel Core i5-7300HQ. Better a little bit for gaming than the U series, but still, you know, it's older gen. A GTX 1050 for graphics, 4GB of DDR4 RAM, 1TB hard drive, but you can upgrade with an M.2 slot to an SSD. I think it supports NVMe. Again, 15.6 inch display and a 45 watt-hour battery actually, so more underpowered than everything else on the list. This one, I don't recommend as much as the others, but if you really want a Lenovo Legion laptop, you can get it for 44,988 pesos. A weird price at Vilman. Alright guys, so that actually concludes this list, but before I leave you, I'm going to give my personal recommendations from this list. If you're gonna max out your budget and spend all of that 50,000 pesos, then I would suggest go for the Dell G315 Gaming. But if you want to spend less than 40, then definitely go for the ASUS Gaming X570 ZT. That's a really good price for what you're getting. So I really hope this video helped some of you guys out there looking for gaming laptops under 50,000 pesos. And, you know, just a little side note about all the items mentioned on this list. They are capable of gaming, but, you know, don't expect a lot. Expect to lower your settings, expect to maybe even lower down to 720p, expect to maybe not play the latest games upcoming unless you again bump down to lower settings, but you know, they're still gaming laptops, they still have GPUs, they're still somewhat capable. And a lot of these, or all of these, you can upgrade the RAM. So upgrade the RAM, add an SSD, and aside from a gaming laptop, maybe they're powerful enough for video editing. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we upload a new video, and visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. This has been Joey. That's our picks for gaming laptops under 50,000 pesos, and I'll see you in the next one. I hear chicken.